Hey, everybody. Welcome to She Rises. I'm so excited to be here with my guests today. I'm Leslie Kuster. I'm the author of a new book called Seven Keys to Seven Figures, the Women Entrepreneur's Guide to Money and Freedom. And I started this show, She Rises, really out of my own pain point, my own difficulties in kind of feeling very invisible and having a feeling as if there was wisdom I had and knowledge I had and kind of like nowhere to show it, nowhere to express it, which is why I wrote my book, because I really wanted to help women entrepreneurs have more money, have more clarity, and have more freedom, which is what we all really want. So today's guest, I'm really excited about. Tamsin Murray is actually a longtime friend of mine. She is a very, very, very special person. She is a creative artist, and she has really brought her art into her life in many ways. She's an author, she's a painter, she's a sculptor, she's a designer. So she has really a lot of creativity. She's a dancer. And so she is someone I really wanted to bring on today because she has managed to create a business out of her own spirituality. And today's show is going to focus a little bit more on spirituality and how you could bring spirituality into your business as well. So with that, I would like to introduce Tamsin Murray. Hey, Tamsin.
Hi, Leslie. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited you're here too.
Yeah.
So you have this amazing business. I have used your veils, which is what your business is, and you have really created a whole business out of something that you love so much. So can you just tell everybody what your business is? Like, what was the impetus to even start it? Why would you even start a veil business? What do you use it for?
Okay. So before the veil business, I used to do 6 months with my spiritual teacher, traveling and studying with him. And then I'd go back to New York and work like crazy for 6 months to get the money again. And so I was always broke at the end. And one year, I was in a job where it was really stressful. And I sat at the desk and I just started thinking about what I would like to do. And three words came into my head, which was lightness, mobility, and color, and to be part of what I was doing with my teacher. And he had used veils as a meditation in the workshop, and we never had enough. So after that sort of visualizing, I cut my first bolt of silk. My teacher helped me, and it just went from being one bolt of silk to like 2,000 pieces sometimes a year, and to being able to express my creativity through dyeing the veils. And it enabled me to travel full time with my teacher, which was fantastic. So I traveled with a bag of veils that I'd made in the summer that were all different colors and, you know, things that I could experiment for with color, and then people would buy them. Like, they used them in the workshop, and it was just like a dream to see the room filled with people dancing. It was like a moving painting, and veil dancing makes people very happy. And in the context of the work that we did, it was like a sort of a rising up of joy and happiness and just play. People adults were playing, which really made me happy. So
I
that,
love that. And I love how you explain like you had a problem, right? Which is like you wanted more freedom. You wanted to be able to travel anywhere you wanted to be. And you want to be able to do workshops and travel with your spiritual teacher. And so out of that strong desire, this idea came because there wasn't enough vowels, and this is how kind of you created your business. So it came out of like a really organic place, and it came out of a really pure place. So how did it go? Did people buy the songs? Were you able to travel? Were you able to do what you really wanted to do when you first had the idea?
yeah, it was like sort of just driving on a jet, you know. It was just super fast. It grew very, very fast. And it enabled me to travel full time with my teacher doing the workshops every weekend. And I had help with putting up a website. So it was the first website that offered silk veils for belly dancers. So then at the beginning of the internet, there was like this huge rush. So I was able to have a business, have someone ship for me while I was away, and then travel with this huge bag of veils, which was quite light. And then every workshop, there would just be like this huge kind of rummaging through all these colors and people, you know, buying them on the spot. So I had my online store going very well, and yeah, the bag of veils was the way that I paid for everything, you know, as I was traveling. So it was a perfect match. It was like a marriage between the spiritual yearning and business, and it was so fluid and so effortless. And I did work very hard because I had to produce those veils in a 3-month or 4-month period that would last the whole year. So in a way, I was really focused, and I was able to create a business that you know, supported me, and gave me things I never thought that I would have. Like I built a house in Australia, and that was basically built on veils, which was
That is incredible. And like everybody has a yearning for like this feeling of flow, right? Like things just work and things just happen without pushing so much, without like too much striving, without too much difficulty. And it sounds like this is what happened with you, and this is it completely came from this strong desire, and probably your spirit wanted so much to be able to travel with your teacher and really focus on spirituality, and it sort of created a business around it to really support you. And you know, this is something that I think is really important for everybody to hear, that it doesn't really have to be either or. It doesn't really have to be just like working in a company or working in a job, or you know, doing things you don't like, and then you go and then live the life that you want to be living. I think we don't want to live this way at all. And one of the things that I want to teach also, and try to do through my own business, is to always ask the question, like, how can my business serve me rather than me serving the business? You know, how can you create a business and work that actually supports you, like your dreams and your values and what you really, really, really want to do and how you really, really want to live, rather than, oh, I have to work for that business. And even though I know it's not always easy, right? The website and this and selling. I know you do Amazon and Etsy and you know other platforms.
yeah.
It came out of something so pure for yourself, and I think it's encouraging for others to hear your story.
Yeah. And you had a point about visibility, and I think the thing that I learned from that experience is that I became visible to myself first. When you're sort of running around looking for ideas, and if they're not connected to what you really care about, then it doesn't. It never really connects. So like I would imagine women with children, with women with a family who have a really strong desire to support their family or something like that, has that same experience of like, I really want to do this and I've got a strong purpose to do it. So the strong purpose and just really knowing what I wanted in my life, and not feeling that I had to compromise. So and my life was open very much from the Sufi work, because it puts you in a very positive place. So you're not thinking in terms of, oh, I can't do this, oh, I have doubts or whatever. You're just going, oh, I'll find a solution, I'll find a solution, I'll find a solution, because you're so geared to a state of being that allows you to believe and to go and act out what you feel you want to do. Yeah, it's given me a wonderful lifestyle where I have a lot more sense of peace, and a lot more sense of what is important in life, and yeah, just connecting to people in a way that my product was something that helped them to be more alive, to be playful, to be adventurous, to just exist and do something that brought them a great deal of happiness. So yeah, that was a really good result of all of it. So
yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Can you tell people listening, we're live right now. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on your own Facebook. And not everybody listening knows exactly what the Sufi work is. Can you explain a little bit more, what it is, what this meditation is, and why you're so drawn to it, and why you really kind of have dedicated your life to it?
Okay, so it's.
And I just want to add, if anyone has any questions for Tamsin, the comment box is open, and we will see your comments. So please do add any if you have any.
Okay. So the Sufi work that I was attracted to is very much in movement. So now everybody's involved in yoga. They sort of understand yoga, and they understand that through yoga they have connection to their physical being, and they feel better. They start to look after themselves better. Well, this is kind of like yoga on steroids in a way, because it's not only your body
I love that.
that you address. It's your mental facility. It's your emotional brain. It's your yearning for beauty. It's your it's like yoga is like eating just one type of food. You're just eating that food, whereas Sufi is like combining a whole list of ingredients and creating like a really, really delicious meal. There's yoga, there's music, there's sound, there's chanting, which uses your voice and activates your brain. There's whirling, which is an incredible experience. There's community. There's drumming, which is a really rhythmical experience of of feeling like your whole being is coming into alignment. And so that's what I fell in love with, that it was complete. It was like you didn't have to run around everywhere getting this and this and this, that it's all came together in this one practice. And it was intriguing too, because it has a history going thousands of years. So that puts it in contact with like the whole evolution of humans to want to evolve to something better. And that actually is timeless. Like, so being able to go into a place that's timeless, into a state that's natural, into a sort of a sense of being connected with the whole kind of cosmos, has a very healing impact. And no matter where you're from, what you've done in your life, there's this capacity in all of us to reach this kind of peace and equilibrium. And I was very lucky to find something that gave that to me for my journey as a person.
Wow, that's so beautiful. One thing that's always been so important to me is to have space for my own spirituality, which is why, I have a whole chapter on it in my book on empty time. And what I learned is that if you want to really be successful in business or in anything you really want to do in the world, you actually have to stop being in the world at times. You have to stop doing business. You have to stop making all of this and go inside. And so for others listening, are there any techniques you can share right now, or things that other women can do to kind of bring more spirituality into their life, bring more spirituality into their business, bring more a feeling of that peace that you're talking about into their daily life and into the world that they're living in? Because this is really the key, isn't it? And so if you can share a little bit about what you suggest others that are listening to this might be inspired to do.
That's good. That's a very good question. My teacher had a talk one day about the 3 essential things that you can do to bring your life into a better state. And he said there was one word that meant to get rid of anything negative, to just quit anything that's brings you down, either in yourself or from the outside world, and just leave those behind. And the second thing is to make everything sweet, like to be positive, to have gratitude, to look for the things that are positive in life, whatever it is, just positivity. And then the third thing is a combination of those acts, because it's very much about action. You just have to put things into action. The third thing is a combination of those 2 actions, which is transcendence. So when you start to release those things and let things go that are not working for you, and strive towards things that are working for you and have more meaning to you, that will take you on a better path. So it's very simple, and in our practices, wherever you are in the world, in whatever situation you are in, you have your breath, you have your body, and you have the ability to find some quiet place, like even if it's outside of your home, in nature, somewhere quiet where the phones are turned off, the internet's off, the music's off, phone calls are off, everything is not going to disturb you. And you just want to be able to lay your hands on your belly and start to breathe. And there's one beautiful exercise where you're just sitting or you're lying down, and you bring your inhale all the way up to your forehead, like you're trying to, bring breath into your head. And then you exhale all the way down into your belly. And even though it seems like a very simple thing, you just keep your mind on the breath. And that starts to draw in the energy that you use to think, that you use to worry, that you use to get nervous about things or anything like that. It draws it into the breath. And the breath has a way of like dissolving those things. So, and you need to give it time. You need to give it time. And the other exercise, which is an extension of the breath, is just to simply do this sound, like just and that has a cleansing. It has like it's like creating a fire in your body, and it's like that actual sound is like drawing in all of the things that you don't need in your body, whether mentally, psychically, emotionally, physically. And you're like creating a fire to let those things go, burn away from your insides. And you can do it for as long as you want, until you experience something different. Like, if you're in a nervous state or you're angry or thing, that sound well done with focus and concentration, will bring about an alchemical transformation of the energy that you are using at that moment for things that are not serving you.
I love that. And I mean, I feel it immediately, like doing the ha, 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 just like a couple seconds of just bringing the breath up and down is so powerful and so simple and so easy, right?
Yeah.
And I love also what you said before about how it's the simple idea of not to focus on the stuff that's really bothering us, and just to focus on not on that, onto the more positive stuff. And so often we all try to focus on the negative stuff and try to fix it, right? How do we fix this? How do we fix that? How do we fix our businesses? How do we fix our relationships? How do we fix this? And ultimately it leaves nowhere. It's sort of going in the same circle. And to leave that behind and to just focus on the positive. These are simple things, and simple things that most people even know, but we forget, right, over and over.
Yeah. And also too, like, the being positive doesn't necessarily doesn't mean that you forget your problems or you put them aside. It means that you use some time for yourself to get into a more positive place, either through relaxation, through the breath, through movement, through anything that makes you feel better. And then you apply being in that more positive state to then looking at those things in a more positive light. So then you have the energy to go, oh, okay, this is not going to make me even feel more uncomfortable. now I've brought myself into a state of comfort, and now I have the peace of mind to look at it more clearly. And that's the beauty of the spiritual work for yourself, because it's not that you're discarding business or the world. It's your changing your attitude, your state of mind, your state of being, to approach the world in a much more positive, much more intelligent place, because nothing really gets created well through chaos and stress. It really won't last. And I found with my life, like the more I'm in a state of pure clarity, which I can access through doing these practices and these workshops, the more that my decisions become better, and the more I have access to tools that give me a better way of contemplating things that are difficult. You can't say that, you take a spiritual path, that things are not going to be difficult, or you're not going to come into dark places within yourself and within the world. But you're going to carry with you those tools to be able to go, okay, I know I can strive towards being in a better place. I can strive towards finding a solution. I can strive towards being able to look at myself or the situation and be better, approach it better. So there's
beautiful.
Yeah.
We're going to start wrapping up, but I would like to ask you about this. I know you've been working with your teacher for a very long time, and he passed. And so it's changed a lot, kind of your role. Like, you've kind of gone from student and going to workshops to giving the workshops, right? And leading workshops. So again, this is like, you've now stepped into kind of another level of visibility, right, than where you were before. And I think every time we take a step into being more visible, it definitely pushes buttons. It gets us out of gets us out of our comfort zone, whether we want to or not. So can you just, like, in wrapping up, talk a little bit about this transition that you're kind of still experiencing right now, of really kind of stepping more into your own power, and your own power as being a teacher. Like earlier you said with the business, it was like an empowerment of yourself with the manifestation of the business. This is now like another level, isn't it, for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a big change, because with my teacher, I was able to just be in the shadows until he put me out in the center dancing or something. But so it is a process, and but the thing, and I struggle sometimes with self-confidence or doubt, but the thing I don't struggle with is the positive effect of the actual work itself. So I'm really fully dedicated to that, and I see the effects it has on people, and through the 20 years that I was traveling with my teacher, I met so many different people who are all from all different walks of life, and they come together as a community, as a group, and they become, in this state, they also yearn for it. So it's a fantastically beautiful way to be with people. So in that sense, those are the things that carry me through all of the possible, nerves. I always get nerves before a class, but then I also have to learn a lot about visibility in terms of promotion and marketing and things, which I'm wrapping my head around that now.
Yeah, and actually on that topic, so like how can people know more about you? How can they know also about your veils if they're interested in purchasing any of the veils, and if they're interested also in workshops? I know you have an upcoming workshop in New York City really soon. So maybe you could tell people about that, because a lot of people are listening from New York right now.
Oh, great. That'd be great. Well, all of the information about the workshops are on sufifoundation.org. And on sufifoundation.org, you can find all about every event. And if you subscribe or contact, it comes to me, so you can get in touch with me that way. And then with my veils are Nahari silks, and that's just naharisilks.com. And that connects you to my Etsy stores and my Amazon stores. And the sites can also give you a lot more information about the background and history and what I do and what we do. And I've been trying to sort of put it out more that we have a summer retreat in New Mexico, because it's the most beautiful place for doing spiritual work, with the air, the mountains, the quiet. And this is where people can come together in a quiet, undistracted place, or fairly undistracted, and really have an experience that changes their lives for the best. So that all that information is on sufifoundation.org, and where I'm teaching from New York for 5 days next Tuesday, and then I go to Houston, and then after that I might be down in Baja, and after that Madrid and Vienna and Switzerland. So, and then at the camp, which is 2 months starting July, where people can really get a taste of what we've been discussing today.
Beautiful. So you're still living your dream, traveling, right? There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Tamsin. It's been wonderful having you on the show. I'm so glad you joined us today. And if there's any other woman out there and you're an entrepreneur, you have a business, and you would like to come on the show, please contact me at leslie@lesliekuster.com. The purpose of the show is to give women entrepreneurs visibility and really encourage more and more women to rise and shine. So thank you so much, Tamsin.
And thank you for having me on, Leslie. Thank you for doing this. Yeah.
It's our pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.